curse of the pharaohs is a curse alleged to be cast upon anyone who disturbs the mummy of an ancient Egyptian, especially a pharaoh. The modern origins of Egyptian mummy curse tales, their development primarily in European cultures, the shift from magic to science to explain curses. There are occasional instances of genuine ancient curses appearing inside or on the facade of a tomb, as in the case of the mastaba of Tutankhamun, of the 6th dynasty, at Saqqara. There had been stories of curses going back to the 19th century, but they multiplied after Howard Carter's discovery of the tomb of Tutankhamun. Despite popular misconceptions, no curse was found inscribed in the pharaoh's tomb. The tomb of Tutankhamun contains an inscription, "As for all men who shall enter this my tomb, impure, there will be judgment, an end shall be made for him. I shall seize his neck like a bird, I shall cast the fear of myself into him." Zahi Hawass quotes an example of a curse: "Cursed be those who disturb the rest of a pharaoh. They that shall break the seal of this tomb shall meet death by a disease that no doctor can diagnose." In 1699, Louis Punicher wrote an account in which he recorded how a Polish traveler bought 2 mummies in Alexandria and embarked on a sea journey with the mummies in the cargo hold. The traveler was alarmed by recurring visions of 2 people, and the stormy seas did not go away until the mummies were thrown overboard. His cousin died on that day, his uncle died on its 1st anniversary, and on the 3rd anniversary, his aunt died. Years later, when he excavated the tombs of the builders of the pyramids at Giza, he encountered the curse: "All people who enter this tomb who will make evil against this tomb and destroy it, may the crocodile be against them in water, and snakes against them on land. May the hippopotamus be against them in water, and the scorpion on land." He decided not to disturb the mummies. He later was involved in the removal of 2 child mummies from Buharia oasis to a museum and reported he was haunted by the children in his dreams. The phenomenon did not stop until the mummy of the father was reunited with the children in the museum. He concluded that mummies should not be displayed, though it was a lesser evil than allowing the general public into the tombs. Hawass also recorded an incident of a sick young boy who loved ancient Egypt and was subject to a miracle cure in the Egyptian Museum when he looked into the eyes of the mummy of King Ahmose I. The belief in a curse was brought to many people's attention due to the deaths of a few members of Howard Carter's team and other prominent visitors to the tomb. Carter's team opened the tomb of Tutankhamun in 1922, launching the modern era of Egyptology. The famous Egyptologist James Henry B. worked with Carter soon after the first opening of the tomb. He reported how Carter sent a messenger on an errand to his house. On approaching his home, the messenger thought he heard a faint, almost human cry. Upon reaching the entrance, he saw the birdcage occupied by a cobra, the symbol of the Egyptian monarchy. Carter's canary had died in its mouth, and this fueled local rumors of a curse. Arthur Weigel, a previous Inspector General of Antiquities to the Egyptian government, reported that this was interpreted as Carter's house being broken into by the royal cobra, the same as that worn on the king's head to strike enemies, on the very day the king's tomb was being broken into. An account of the incident was reported by the New York Times on the 22nd of December 1922. The first of the mysterious deaths was that of Lord Carnarvon. He had been bitten by a mosquito, and later slashed the bite accidentally while shaving. It became infected, and that resulted in blood poisoning. 2 weeks before Carnarvon died, Marie Corelli wrote a letter to the New York World magazine. A media frenzy followed, with reports that a curse had been found in the king's tomb, though this was untrue. The superstitious Benito Mussolini, who had once accepted an Egyptian mummy as a gift, ordered its immediate removal from the Palazzo Chigi. Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, creator of Sherlock Holmes, suggested that Lord Carnarvon's death had been caused by elementals created by Tutankhamun's priests to guard the royal tomb, and this further fueled the media interest. Arthur Weigel reported that 6 weeks before Carnarvon's death, he had watched the Earl laughing and joking as he entered the king's tomb, and said to a nearby reporter, "I give him 6 weeks to live." The first autopsy carried out on the body of Tutankhamun by Dr. Derry found a healed wound on the left cheek, but as Carnarvon had been buried 6 months previously, it was not possible to determine if the location of the wound on the king corresponded with the fatal mosquito bite on Carnarvon. The cause of Carnarvon's death was reported as pneumonia supervening on erysipelas. In 1925, the anthropologist Henry Field, accompanied by Breasted, visited the tomb and recalled the kindness and friendliness of Carter. Skeptics have pointed out that many others who visited the tomb or helped to discover it lived long and healthy lives. A study showed that of the 58 people who were present when the tomb and sarcophagus were opened, only 8 died within a dozen years. All the others were still alive, including Howard Carter, who died of lymphoma in 1939 at the age of 64. The last survivors included Lady Evelyn Herbert, Lord Carnarvon's daughter, who was among the first people to enter the tomb, who lived for a further 57 years, and American archaeologist J.O. Kinnaman, who died in 1961, a full 39 years after the event.